What if I told you that narcissists are not as fearless as they seem? That behind their inflated egos, their manipulative tactics, and their need for constant admiration lies a fear so deep they'll do anything to hide it. But here's the twist. Once you understand this fear, you gain the upper hand. Imagine being able to stop their mind games, turn the tables, and make them lose interest in controlling you. Sounds powerful, right? So what exactly is this fear? And more importantly, how can you use it to your advantage? In this video, we're diving into the psychology of narcissism to uncover their ultimate weakness. You'll learn why this fear is so powerful, how it shapes their toxic behavior, and how you can protect yourself from their manipulation. Whether you're dealing with a narcissistic partner, a toxic boss, or a so-called friend who always makes you feel inferior, this knowledge will be your greatest weapon. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to strip a narcissist of their power without even lifting a finger. And trust me, once you see their reaction, you'll never look at them the same way again. Narcissists walk into a room like they own it. Chin high, voice loud, all eyes on them. They seem unstoppable, untouchable. But what if I told you the person who acts the strongest is actually the most afraid? That behind the arrogance and manipulation is a crippling fear they never want you to see. Their greatest fear? Exposure. You see, everything a narcissist shows you is a mask. The charm, the confidence, the success, it's all an illusion. Deep down, they're consumed by a haunting belief. If people saw the real me, they'd walk away. That fear controls everything. Their entire identity is built on image, on being admired, envied, even feared. But behind closed doors, there's a constant voice whispering, "You're not enough." And that's why they lie, manipulate, and gaslight, because the truth would shatter them. Imagine their ego as a glass castle. From afar, it's majestic. But it's fragile. One crack, one truth, and the whole thing could collapse. So when someone criticizes them or catches them in a lie, it's not a small inconvenience, it's a direct threat to their survival. That's why they explode, shut down, or twist the story. It's not about winning the argument, it's about keeping the mask in place. But here's the twist, they don't just fear being exposed to others, they fear being exposed to themselves. They avoid mirrors that reflect who they really are. They can't admit flaws, take responsibility, or sit with guilt. That's why they project, blame, and rewrite reality. It's how they survive. Even in relationships, where they seem in control, they live in fear of abandonment. Why? Because if someone sees through the act and leaves, it confirms their deepest insecurity. I was never good enough, so they cling to control. They keep you confused. They make you doubt yourself, because if you start to see clearly, you might walk away too. Narcissists don't just experience fear in silence, they act on it. Every part of their toxic behavior is a reaction to their biggest fear, exposure. Once you understand this, their actions become predictable. Why do narcissists manipulate? Ever notice how narcissists twist conversations, rewrite history, and always seem to make you the bad guy? That's not by accident, it's damage control. When they feel threatened, they resort to manipulation to ensure their image remains intact. They gaslight. They make you question your own reality so you don't trust your own judgment. They blame shift. If they get caught lying, they'll accuse you of being too sensitive or misunderstanding. They play the victim. If exposure is inevitable, they'll flip the script and make others feel sorry for them. It's all about avoiding accountability, because accountability means admitting flaws. And that's their worst nightmare. Why do they rage when challenged? Ever confronted a narcissist with the truth? You probably got one of two reactions: explosive rage or stone-cold silence. Both are survival tactics. The narcissistic rage. If their ego takes a direct hit, they lash out. They'll insult, degrade, or even intimidate you, anything to scare you into backing down. The silent treatment? If they can't argue their way out, they withdraw completely, making you feel like the bad guy for attacking them. This is why even mild criticism can send a narcissist into a full-blown meltdown. To them, being wrong isn't an option. Why do they constantly seek validation? Narcissists aren't confident. They're dependent on external validation to maintain their illusion. They need constant praise, admiration, and control over how others see them. Without it, they start to spiral. That's why they surround themselves with people who won't challenge them, brag excessively about their achievements, post perfect lives on social media while feeling empty inside. Deep down, they don't believe they're enough. That's why they crave validation like a drug. It's the only thing keeping their ego intact. And here's something else. When they sense that their manipulation isn't working, they escalate. They might try harder to guilt trip you, love bomb you, or even start smearing your reputation to others. It's their desperate attempt to regain control. But here's the twist. When you stop giving them that validation, they panic. The moment they realize they can't control you, they start losing interest. Now that you understand a narcissist's biggest fear, exposure and loss of control, let's talk about how to use this knowledge to protect yourself and even turn the tables on them. The key? You don't fight fire with fire, you fight it with indifference. Stop feeding their ego. Narcissists need validation like oxygen. If you stop giving them the reaction they crave, they start to lose interest in controlling you. Don't engage in their drama. The moment you start defending yourself against their false accusations, they win. Instead, respond with a simple, okay, or no response at all. Limit compliments and admiration. If they brag about an achievement, a neutral "that's nice" is enough. Don't get emotional. The less reactive you are, the more powerless they feel. When a narcissist realizes they can't provoke you, they'll either try harder or move on to an easier target. Set firm boundaries and stick to them. Narcissists test boundaries constantly. The trick is not just setting boundaries, but enforcing them. If they insult you, don't engage. Say, "I won't be spoken to like that," and walk away. If they guilt trip you, recognize the manipulation. Instead of feeling bad, remind yourself they're doing this because they need control. Be consistent. If you give in once, they'll keep pushing. Stay firm. Use the gray rock method. This is one of the most powerful techniques to disarm a narcissist. The idea? Be as boring as a rock. Keep conversations dull and factual. No emotions, no personal details. Don't react to their provocations. Stay neutral. Make yourself uninteresting to them. Narcissists thrive on drama. Remove that and they lose interest. Let them expose themselves. You don't need to call a narcissist out directly. They'll do it themselves. Stay silent when they lie. The more they talk, the more contradictions they create. Let them overreact. When they rage or play the victim over small things, others will notice. By not feeding their need for control, you strip them of their power without even lifting a finger. Now you know the truth. Narcissists are not as fearless as they pretend to be. Beneath their inflated ego and manipulative tactics lies one ultimate fear: exposure and loss of control. And once you recognize this, you gain power over them. Remember, the best way to deal with a narcissist isn't to argue, fight, or expose them outright. That only fuels their need for drama and control. Instead, starve them of what they crave: your attention, your emotional reactions, and your validation. Set firm boundaries, stay unshakable, and let them unravel on their own. The more you understand how they operate, the easier it becomes to protect yourself. You don't need to play their game, you just need to stop playing the role they expect you to. And when you do, they lose their grip over you. If this video helped you, make sure to hit that like button so more people can break free from toxic narcissistic influence. And if you want more content like this, subscribe and turn on notifications. Drop a comment below if you've ever dealt with a narcissist. What was your experience? Let's start the conversation. Thanks for watching, and remember, you have more power than you think. Stay strong.